What's up, everybody? My name is Joe, as you can see below, and the artist I chose for this assignment was Umberto Boccioni, an important figure in the Futurism movement. To start, the agreed upon classification of Futurism is an artistic social movement originated in Italy during the early 20th century that emphasized speed, technology, youth, violence, and the industrial city. These painters adopted Cubist techniques of using fragmented and intersecting plane surfaces to show several simultaneous views of an object. These techniques are similar to pieces from Pablo Picasso, who was a Cubist and prominent figure in the art community. The image you're looking at now would be similar to something that these new futurism painters would be making. Their artwork included rhythmic spatial outlines of moving subjects. These subjects could be anything from speeding automobiles, trains, racing cyclists, dancers, animals, and even urban crowds. Futurism paintings have brighter, more vibrant colors. These colors sometimes reveal dynamic, agated compositions within the piece. Getting more into his life, he was born in Reggio de Calabria, Italy, on October 19th, 1882. His childhood years were hectic, with his family moving frequently around Italy until the family finally settled in the city of Catania in 1897. This is where he received most of his secondary schooling. He lived mainly with his mother and father, but he also had an older sister, Amelia, who was also in the picture from time to time. As a young boy growing up, he was living in a fast-changing world. During this time, Italy was still a relatively new country, only becoming independent 40 years earlier. At the turn of the century, King Umberto of Italy was assassinated. I guess Umberto was a popular name back then. In 1903, the film industry was born, and towards the end of the decade, with global tensions rising, it forced Italy to slowly side with Germany and Austria as allies years before the start of World War I. With this evolving world around Boccioni, he eventually started down his path as an artist. In 1901, he enrolled in the Rome Academy of Fine Arts, where he met his friend and future collaborator, Gino Severini. At the academy, both Gino and Umberto studied under divisionist painter Giacomo Balla. During these early years of his career, he progressed as a neo-impressionist, which is an artist that uses oil pastels to make landscape and portrait pieces. As he began to become a notable figure in the art community, he started expressing his ideas and beliefs that later became the foundation for younger artists. He believed that scientific and modern advancements meant artists should abandon the tradition of depicting static objects. This time in history started to develop new pieces of technology that Boccioni thought artists should take advantage of. Some of these included the phone, modernized automobile, and typewriter. Along with his ideology, he introduced visual innovations that led to the evolution of other art mediums, as well as developing the art theory of Dadaism, like this example. Throughout his career, he produced many significant pieces and other works, like his first major futurist painting, Riot in the Gallery, 1909, or another that people consider to actually be the first truly futurist painting in his piece, The City Rises, in 1910. Along with these, in 1912, he published his Manifesto of Futurist Sculpture. Other important pieces of his career include Unique Forms of Continuity in Space in 1913, The Streets Enter the House in 1911, and The States of Mind 1, The Farewells in 1911. I want to discuss these three pieces in detail and highlight their futurism concepts. The Street Enters the House, 1911, is a piece that has design similarities found in Cubism along with its own symmetrical repetition of different shapes and objects. The painting uses vibrant colors and comes across as having an industrial city, slightly speedy tone to it. In States of Mind 1, The Farewells of 1911, he uses a futuristic subject of a locomotive to give it a speedy theme, similar to the previous artwork. The focal point of this piece is provided by the sense of movement in the picture. The movement of these pieces in it captures the dynamism and chaos theme found in the futurism movement. Along with all this, it depicts people being consumed by or fused with the steam from the locomotive as it whizzes by. The last piece to talk about is the unique forms of continuity in space, 1913, which is one of his most famous pieces. This sculpture comes across having speed and fluidity of movement. The human sculpture figure seems to be gliding through space, and the polished metal of it alludes to the sleek modern machinery. With these, the edges of the figure also seem to be shaped by the wind. Within his career, Italy ended up going into World War I with Germany and Austria. So within a war-torn Europe, Baglioni enlisted in the army. He soon after died by a fall from his horse in 1916. In his 34 years, he had contributed so much to the art community. All the pieces we have mentioned are the direct result of the Futurism movement that he had a major role in shaping. He and other Futurism artists were bold and made the art they wanted to make regardless of the time. The concepts they used during their movement are still relevant today. The artists and their work will always have a place in the evolution of the European art movement. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and thank you.